My cabbages! Low, low, man. Ah, my cabbages!
What's up, everybody? Good to see you in the house today. Of course, this is the Legal Mindset. We teach you to be your own judge, and we are live here from really all around Asia. But today, of course, I am in Korea still. I will be back in Thailand very soon, very, very soon. But it's good to see everybody here today. Thank you for joining me. We're going to have some updates on Johnny Somali. There's some new crazy stuff that's come out. Really insane stuff. And I'll probably just, you know what, we may just end up, we'll watch some of my compilations. I have places. Obviously, I did put out a new video. If you haven't had a chance to see that, where Johnny is running from a small Korean girl reporter, go check that out. It's actually hilarious. But we're going to watch some of the kind of associated footage around that today and discuss it. It's quite funny. But guys, make sure you smash the like button. I see there's over 1,400 of you in the chat. I expect we're going to get to 5,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 by the end of this. We'll see. So make sure you smash the like button, and I'm glad you're here. Magnus Style says, funds for the special weeb unit. Let's go! First, greetings on a sunny day in Germany. Well, hope you're doing well there in Germany. Guten Tag. And hope you have a nice day. My voice is still recovering, so it is what it is. It's what happens. What happens when you go hard in Korea. Linux Guy for 10 says, it's been glorious watching the good news spread across streams and posts. I know, and what's been fantastic is so many content creators are covering this, and they're doing a good job of covering it generally. Obviously, what we have here is the deep level of detail, but even people just bringing it up as a topic is a good thing, because the more exposure we get, the more it spreads the message that the world is watching and that the world cares about the outcome of this case, and they are paying attention. Korea is very sensitive to the international perception, and when they think, okay, this is going to put a judgment on our justice system because of the eyes of the world are watching this case, they will take it very seriously. Yoko Kurama for Cabbage and Coffee, thank you very much. Wundertut for 10 euros says, wouldn't it be funny if we get an HD version of Coping and Seething? Just for the flex. We're gonna get a new version. Don't you worry, it's coming. It's coming. Moon Shadow says, cope and seethe, Johnny. Oh, hard. And then we've got a bunch of new memberships. So Van Win and Agent Strawman also became members, but then Van also dropped 10 Legal Mindset memberships, and then Unhinged Valkyrie dropped 20 Legal Mindset memberships. Johnny is having real big
Emotional damage.
He's sitting there seething. And there's a really fun fact here. I posted this on my locals, and I want to show you guys this here today. I was going to save this little surprise. So apparently Johnny and Hank tried to donate to me on Ko-Fi. In case you don't know, I have a Ko-Fi, Ko-Fi/Andrew Esquire, for supporting the trial team, for getting us coffee, dinner, drinks. And last night I bought one of our team members dinner. We had amazing kimbap, if you haven't had that, and bulgogi. It was amazing. And kimchi jjigae as well. So over here, literally tried to donate to me, gave his money right back. Him and Hank tried to send some money over, but I sent that money right back to Ramsey Khalid Ismail. Very, very funny. Cute move there. But yeah, not happening. Crazy times here. Crazy things happening. And everybody, I see new people in the chat. If you're new to the channel, welcome. I am going to go over some basic stuff today because I have gone through over 4,000 comments, and I actually read them and skim through them, and I've been looking at what some of the biggest questions are. So I'm going to answer 2 questions that are really big in the comments. They came up time and time and time again, and I think people that are newer to this story need a little bit of the background and the lore. We've talked a lot about the charges. Right now in the Western District, there's 2 charges of obstruction of business and 2 charges of the Minor Crimes Act. There may be more added to that, but at this point, that's what we have. In the Eastern District, the case has not started yet, the Eastern District of Seoul. The case has not started yet, but we know for sure we've got at least one deepfake case in the pipeline coming down against Johnny Somali. So that's a good amount. We've talked about those charges. Deepfakes are considered very serious in Korea. And now I know some people in the comments have said, well, I'm not sure I agree with the Korean law XYZ. Well, you may not necessarily agree with a foreign law or the way they do things, but that is indeed the way they do things. And if you're in that country, you need to abide by the country's laws. That's just as simple as that for visiting or living in a country. And that's one of the underlying problems with Ramzi Khalid Ismail, aka Johnny Somali, and other nuisance streamers is they often disrespect and disregard their laws. And as we're going to see today, they completely don't respect, and Ramzi doesn't respect their system at all. He thinks it's a joke. This is insane. Even after his trial, even after he took such an L, he's sitting here trying to dunk on the court, trying to dunk on the system, and trying to think he's going to get away with everything, which is crazy. But we're gonna watch that today and talk about that today. Torga the White says, hi ho, to the cabbage mines he goes. Indeed. Rayobi said, this will be awesome coverage since practically in day one since Ramzi arrived. By the way, wouldn't it be better, not really, if Ramzi just copes and seethes in a certain black screen? Yeah, I mean, he's definitely lashing out now, but the difference is he's actually streaming. So let's be clear. The reason why I'm doing this stream today is because he is, number one, I have some updates and some information, some answers to questions. But the biggest news today is that he's returned to streaming. We had months from December to now where he was not streaming. So we didn't have any new footage. We didn't have new incidents. We are now going to have new footage and new incidents coming out, potentially new crimes that he commits. Because, as we'll talk about today, it seems that this week he may actually leave Hank's apartment for something other than court, and he may actually get back to IRL streaming. He may actually go out in the wild and start IRL streaming again. This is not a joke. This is not anything else. He said as much on his stream today. Now, I don't normally believe that, but he's been telling everybody behind the scenes. He's been talking to everybody about doing this. And because we have his video from weeks ago, his first video coming back was targeting the streamers coming to Korea eventually. And now we know that those streamers are going to be in Korea for a lot longer than they thought. They're not just going to stop over in Seoul. They're going to do a trip from Busan from Busan to Seoul. We thought, I misspoke. Originally, we thought that the streamers from Japan, the big group headed by Ice Poseidon with many, many streamers there, was just going to go to Busan and right back to Japan. So they were just going to come here for the sole purpose of renewing their visa and go right back to Japan. It appears that is not the game plan anymore. It appears the game plan is to kind of finish it out or stay here in Korea, and then maybe some of them will go back, maybe not. So Johnny Somali is delighted about this because he has been looking for a way to confront them, and this gives him a golden opportunity to confront these people that he views as turning their back on him. Even though, to a certain extent, some of them still support and help him. Some of them say they hate him, but some of them are actually enabling the behavior. So we'll talk about that today. Colin M. for 20 Legal Mindset memberships. Thank you much. Then Sebastian Mueller for another 20. Oh, love it. We all know Ramzi sees 20 and 20, and it's...
You are coping and seething.
big coat from Ramsey today. Thank you for that, guys. Giraltina Origins, I've been following this through Rev Says Desu. Yeah, Rev's great content. I'm glad he's been following this. He looked at my tweets for as a source, which is good. And yeah, glad things are good back in the USA. Glad to hear that. I will probably be there in June or July, but it depends on this trial because we'll see what the dates on this trial play out. Czech Plak 97 for 10 Polish zlote. Greetings from Poland, friend. Godspeed, Cześć over there, Cześć, or Szczęść Boże, which is my other favorite greeting, my other favorite Polish greeting. Do we have a little lag here? Ooh, I hope we don't have too much lag. Okay, so no, it's all right. I just closed this one window, and I think it should be all right. Okay, cool. So. Got that. Let's see. LC Cherry said, don't just farm the cabbage, RKI. Embrace the cabbage. Become one with the cabbage. He swears, and we'll get to this clip today, that he will not spend a day in jail. Well, I have news for you, Ramsey. It won't be days. It'll be more than days. Thai Coffee for 10. Thank you so much. Don Hamilton for £9.99 says, enjoy your coverage of the Cabbage Patch Kid. There will be no more hanky-panky with Hank, but definitely with his cell buddies. Okay, so you know what? Before we get into it anywhere else, before we go off of rails here, let's start with coverage of Hank. So I'll read all the rest of them here. We'll get these memberships real quick. 5 from Big Buddhist and 5 from Piotr Suvala. Big Buddhist, Piotr, thank you. You guys are great supporters on the channel. Appreciate it. Appreciate that love. Thank you. Yes. Okay, let's get to Hank. So let's do who is Hank? So the number one question I got in the comments was actually, who the hell is this Hank guy? Because he's referenced all the time, and most people have no clue who Hank is. They are hearing about him because he comes up time and time again, but they have no idea who Hank is and what his involvement is. So I'm going to give you guys a little quick brief on Hank, just a tiny little brief, because we already did this as a whole stream, but as part of Hank's kind of litigious past, he likes to sue everybody, literally everybody. So Hank is the guy on the left. His real name is Han Jong-yu. He is known as the Asian Nazi. That's his kind of tag name. He was self-described ultra-nationalist in the United States, despite being a Korean citizen. So he is a Korean citizen. Now, a lot of people say he's quote-unquote not Korean. He does appear to have some family of like Chinese background or Chinese descent, but he does have a Korean passport, right? I mean, so however you want to feel about that, he's a citizen of South Korea, regardless of, some Koreans are disowning him as Korean. And he is the top ally of Johnny Somali. He has been helping him at every single corner here, and he is now, it's confirmed in court that Johnny Somali is sleeping in the same room, in the same house, under the same bed, likely, because it's a small apartment, as Johnny Somali. And Johnny is streaming clearly from his apartment. He's said as much. He's admitted as much. In the court, the address he gave was Hank's address. So it's in Jamshil. And once again, I'm not going to dox anything here, but I was in the court. They said the address. It was clearly Hank's address. So they're together. And in terms of who he is a convicted felon in the United States for under 8 counts of the Gun Control Act, 7 counts of making a false statement to a federally licensed gun dealer, and 1 count of possession of a firearm by a prohibited person. So the problem with Hank was he ended up saying he was a citizen of the United States, but he was just a permanent resident or a resident of the United States. So because of that, and because of lying on the form, he got in trouble. He has spent probably his family has spent hundreds of thousands of dollars to get him out of trouble. Because one important thing about Hank is he is extremely wealthy. Not him, his family. He hasn't ever worked a day in his life. But his family is what they call in Korea silver spoon. His mother is a very influential artist here, very rich artist. And his granddaddy was a prosecutor, was one of the big prosecutors in South Korea. So likely the attribution of that, I know the laws because grandpappy was a lawyer. He is not a lawyer. He is not an interpreter. Everybody who was in there, we had official interpreter. We have Koreans that were with us. They all said his Korean is very bad. It's not good, right? So he could not do that. He kind of in the court was acting like he was going to be his interpreter, but they had an official interpreter who's a professional and speaks perfect English, so there were no issues there. But the big thing with Hank is he has been very litigious. He has sued everybody here. So if you even look at him, if he even has you blink at him, he sues you. He sued actually me, apparently, although I haven't gotten the lawsuit. So, technically until I received like a copy of it, it doesn't exist, right? If they don't serve you with something, it doesn't exist. So I haven't been served, but I've been told by people that he tried to include me in a lawsuit, what I would call a lol suit, because it's a joke. Saying that our coverage defamed him. But all of my statements and everything I've taken, and you can look in my previous streams and everything else, is taken from his own statements and things he has said, including statements about his certain predilections for his romantic partners. And I'm not going to go into that in this stream. That's a whole other rabbit hole. But let's just say he literally went on a public podcast, a YouTube podcast called the K-Town Podcast. And he publicly advertised services for men for money while in Korea. So, and expressed an interest in femboys as well. That was his words, not mine. And he had to explain to the podcast what they were. Once again, I'm not putting words in his mouth. I'm not insinuating. A lot of people say, "Oh, you're doing this. What's with this?" No, it's his words. So that's Hank. That's who he is. That's him in a nutshell. If you have any questions, go back. Look at my channel on the Hank Yoo lol suit or who is Hank. I've got other videos on that, so you can go back and do that. I did just create a Somali playlist, so if you want to go back and get history on these people, it's all there. A lot of other channels, they skim the surface, but here on The Legal Mindset, we go deep. We go deep. Van Nugans has been watching all your coverage on Ramsey, on RK. Let's keep the future cabbage farmer coping and seething. Oh, he's seething hard. The other thing is he's now watching all my streams, which is the sincerest form of flattery, because right now there are dozens of content creators, including big ones, bigger than me. For example, I met up with a Tozy. Shout out to him. He's a great dude. Probably meet up with him later tonight. His channel's way bigger than mine, and there's a lot of other huge channels, million-person channels. I saw Abba and Preach covering this. Nux covered this. Asman covered this, right? But the reason why Johnny is so triggered by me is particularly because I have access to the deep information and the real information about him. And he has to try to discredit me in order to try to make that information seem false. But all the information that I'm pulling, particularly about the case itself, is from the case file. So if I tell you this was filed today, it actually was filed today because I'm looking at the file, right? So that's why a lot of people ask, why is he so angry at you specifically? That's why. So yeah. And it's even, like I said, someone said in the chat, it's even more up to date than his lawyer. Yes. Because once again, he has a public defender. So in the way it works is they assign lawyers. So he went out and was assigned this lawyer. I actually had a friend who tried to call this lawyer to see what their rates were, and they didn't even pick up the phone. So that kind of shows you the level of care there. Okay, so let's get a couple of these comments and then we'll go on to the next one. I think I've answered the who is Hank question. Immature request. Make a big deal out of the fact that you can leave Korea and come back. Just leave again because you aren't hated everyone. Well, no, I haven't committed any crimes here. So once again, if you don't commit a crime in Korea, you're fine. And even if you do commit crimes, here's the thing, Silbury. Most people, foreigners who commit a crime here, let's say you urinated in public and you were going to get hit with something for that. If you just left, they usually don't detain you. So there's actually cases, even sometimes serious cases, where they don't keep you in the country. They specifically travel banned Ramsey, which makes it absolutely horrible. And we see this, for example, in the Japan cases. A lot of the guys who are in Japan who are being investigated for crimes just left before they could be actually hit with a crime. And in fact, when the police accepted, for example, one of the nuisance streamers, DBR, in Japan, when they were about to get him with a criminal charge, he left, right? And it wasn't fast enough. So oftentimes the system, the criminal justice system, is too slow to deal with these type of streamers because they're operating in kind of a fast environment. They come in for a week and they go before any charges can be filed. So that's what you have to fight here, and that's why there need to be different tools to fight this, because it is a problem and a plague, and it creates a bad environment here for the folks that live here. It harms relationships between countries, and frankly, it's just harmful to people and their businesses and their livelihoods. Luxrion for 5 Legal Mindset memberships. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Kerbal says, Johnny's Salty Kimchi merch win. Okay, I'm actually working on merch. I'm trying to get a little bit of help. If anybody has like really deep experience with merch, let me know. Hit me up, send me an email. But yeah, we're working on it. Karl-Heinz Grabowski says, Grüß Gott. Every day, new crazy stuff appears. Johnny Somali really aims for a high score in prison sentence. Indeed. Zola Klug says, being Australian, I'm glad he went to South Korea instead of here because our legal system is such a joke. Glad some sense is being knocked into him. I'm going to say this because a lot of people make comments on different countries' legal systems. All countries are different, and that's based on your policy towards criminality and your belief in whether they need to be, punished or rehabilitated, whether prison is a good or bad thing net for folks, whether people's nature is immutably criminal or whether it can be, changed. Those are deep fundamental questions that cultures and peoples and politics can answer differently. No system is perfect. The United States isn't perfect. Korea is not perfect. Japan's not perfect. But what you can do is try to get the best justice you can get in that system. So what my goal is here in Korea and for most of the people here is to do the best we can do under the existing Korean system. We're not trying to change the system. We're just trying to get the most out of this system that we can because this is a situation where justice is needed. Reverend Norse said, Barney politics. Is it possible that Johnny Somali is going to get any help during the trials from the USA? Or is he going to hang out to dry in the South Korean sun? Why would they help him like that? This is a misnomer. A lot of people, this was like kind of a third question people dropped. They said, is he going to get a pardon or something from, like, is he going to get extradited by, or brought out? No, that's not going to happen. He's not big enough. This isn't a case where this is a political issue. Johnny Somali is in here for being an idiot. Right? He's not in here for his politics. He's not here for being conservative or liberal or anything. Johnny's politics are all fake. They're all an act. They're all to get attention, right? They're all to try to garner attention from people. He doesn't genuinely believe anything. He will say and do anything to get attention. That is one thing that is very much true. Willie Pearl says, hi, Andrew. Well, RK, I have to pay U.S. taxes in jail? Yes. Even when you're in jail in Korea, you still have to file taxes. Now, he might not be making any money, so he might not owe them, but you have to file them. You do have to file them. Wondertut for 10 euros says, I looked through my add-ons for YouTube and looked like BTTV and 7TV works for YouTube. Would that be something you want to enable? It's a giant emote data bank with a live chat. It's widespread on Twitch. I'll look into it. I'll look into it. Thank you very much. I'm always looking to improve my layout. Tuzret says, I came in late. What happened to your voice? Drinking. Soju and Jaeger bombs happened to my soju, Jaeger bombs, and hanging out till 5 a.m. with a tozy. It was fun. It was fun. Good time. Just a Dank Raven says, good morning, sir. So I'll be lurking in the stream. Yeah, lurk away. Chahoy Neko says, 1 year of watching legal. Hey, congrats. Happy anniversary. Let's see. Angry Drunk Bumblebee says, RKI, never ever drop the cabbage. Remember to never, ever drop the cabbage. There you go. Mr. Alex 789 says, just my opinion, I think Johnny would be better off in a mental ward or asylum. He'll find out the hard way when he picks on the wrong people. So I'm surprised he's still alive. Well, it's when you get there. You really, really, really got to watch out. I'll get some members and a couple more, and then we'll continue. Talented X, welcome as a member. Appreciate that. And Auburn, the Danger Kobold, thank you for the 5 Legal Mindset memberships. Reverend Norse says, for 100, with all the infamy of this case, is Hank's family backing Hank in support of Johnny? Would they not try and cut connection or even cut off Hank's cash flow? Don't these families care about image a lot? I think the Western media has picked up a lot about Hank, and the Korean media is slowly learning more about Hank. And I think especially after Hank showed up at the trial, I think that pressure on the Hank side is going to be increasing. So we'll see about that. Now, we don't have, Hank's financials in our back pocket or his family numbers in his back pocket, but certainly he's definitely the black sheep of the family. He's that special cousin, if you know what I mean, right? We all have that special cousin. Anthony for 10 says, sweet, I caught you live. Question, what is the safest way to travel abroad, say to Japan with your prescription meds? It depends which medicines. Check. As I've covered, a lot of things like Ritalin, not okay in Japan. You need to make sure that you're check your medicines and make sure they're okay in Japan. I just had a very detailed consultation with someone trying to move to Japan, asking me about prescription medications. It's very, very specific. So go check that. There's a list. It's online. It's in English. You can figure out what you can and cannot bring into Japan. Fred Herbert for 10 says, I've been trying to keep up with all the info with Johnny with all the current potential charges. What is max sentencing? Still 30 years? It's hard to say now because right now with just what we have, so with what we have now, not including the deep fake, he's got 10 on the board. Possible now, currently. Potentially, because we got the deep fake coming and we know that's coming. So we've got another, let's say that could go up to 20, depending on how they charge that. So from 10 years max to 20 years max, but there's a couple other charges that could come in that could easily get it to 30. So I right now, the most objective answer is 10, because that's what we actually have before the court, but it's going to jump to 20, maybe 30 at a certain point. So that's probably what will be at the end is that. So remember, the process is the punishment, and this is going slowly. So when I give updates, I often am updating as the process is updating. That's why it can be confusing. You can hear videos saying, especially my videos from a while back, giving numbers like 5 years. Now it's 10. Then it might be 15. Then it might be 20. So as we go along the process, that will go up. And I obviously keep you guys updated on these regular streams. That's why I do them. Talented X said, whoa, 6 months, welcome. Shake has been here for 11, nice. Nico said, do you see any similarities between this case and the case of Michael Fay in 1994? Oh gosh, I was not very old in 1994. I would have to do some research on that. Someone sent me a link to another case of an American that was extradited to Korea. There's a lot of older cases that have similarities, but the difference here, Nico, what makes this particularly bad is that he streamed everything. Back in 94, there was no streaming. So Johnny Somali has provided evidence. And that is the big difference in this era, is that a lot of these things, it's not that they weren't happening. Like people were going around harassing people, sure, but they weren't streaming it. When you stream something, it not only monetizes that bad behavior, but it incentivizes it. It trains other people to do it. It says, this is okay. It says, please come copycat this. And it's particularly insidious, which is why some people suggest that when you stream something, they should change the law so that when you stream it, it becomes worse. That's what we call aggravating in the law. So let's say what you normally get punished for obstructing a business is 5 years. Well, if you stream it, now the max is 10 because you've gone and monetized it and you've incentivized other people to do it. So that's not the current law, but that's one of the proposed changes to the law. That's not the current law. That's just an idea to make things worse. Now, once again, an idea doesn't necessarily come through, but I think it's worth discussing. Mephitic Miasma for 20 says, one day Johnny's 15 minutes will be over and Ramsey's 15 years will begin. That's right. That's right. So about this, guys, a lot of new people get confused. His real name, Ramsey Khalid Ismail, pisses him off. Now, he's currently trying to pretend it doesn't, but I watched his face in the trial, and he was pained when he did it. He was always annoyed by this because he wants to go by this moniker, right? He's embarrassed of his name, Ramsey Khalid Ismail, right? So, you know, it really, really does truly annoy him. It always has. So that's why we just call him generally Ramsey. You'll see me calling him Ramsey sometimes because he reads all my stuff and I like when he does that. Now for YouTube, to get it out to everybody, the YouTube algorithm likes Johnny Somali. So sometimes I'll put both, sometimes I'll put one. I play around with it. We have fun here on the channel. Shiori Matsaki says, Johnny looks like a chihuahua next to that girl. And Carlos 247 with the comma. Okay, let's watch this video. So we need to get to this video. So I do have a video up on my channel. You can watch it. It's 3 minutes, but we're going to watch a condensed version. So Johnny on stream was talking very tough. He was talking like he didn't care at all about his trial. He was saying it was no big deal. It was nothing. You guys ain't got nothing on me. And this was a very long stream. Now, we won't be watching all of Johnny's streams. I was watching a lot of clips from the stream. all of his stuff is being logged by everybody. This was recorded earlier today, on the Party platform, P-A-R-T-I. It's a particular streaming platform that uses crypto, and it has very loose moderation rules, very similar to Kick, but even looser than Kick. It's a newer platform. I believe it's based out of America. So he can get away with relative murder on Party. So to speak, metaphorically, right? Metaphorically. So he was there streaming today, and this is something he had to say. And this is a juxtaposition. This is a juxtaposition of what he says with some exclusive footage, which I have not seen any Westerners find. I think it's from Korean media, on the reality of what happened.
They're claiming that like I came in and I was fucking blindsided by the fact that I had a new charge. And
he was, by the way, he was completely blindsided by the fact he had a new charge. He had no idea. He looked like a deer in the headlights.
Motherfuckers was like sitting in the wrong place and niggas was nervous. This shit was a breeze. Fuck you.
Do you admit the charges? Is there anything you want to say? Do you admit the charges? Don't you want to apologize?
I love North.
We're going to rewind that. That actually may be the biggest thing that screws him over.
Lying and making up all this bullshit about me. I know for a fact I'm not going to go to jail. Not one day in jail, but...
There he is saying he's not going to spend one day in jail. Let's go back to this footage. I want to show you guys something on this. So this is the day of the trial. So remember, Johnny said he was walking in here not caring. He said he didn't care. He was relaxed. He was smiling. He was happy. He was laughing, right? You see him there. And that's Hank. People ask, who's Hank? Hank is this guy. Hank is the guy who looks like his obese bodyguard over there. So he literally ran away from these people, immediately flicked them off, ran away from them, stuck his tongue at them. And even more, he dug himself in with what he said.
Do you admit the charges?
So curses her out, calls her the B word.
Is there anything you want to say? Do you admit the charges?
So F Korea, right?
Don't you want to apologize?
I love North.
So saying that he loves North Korea instead of apologizing. Okay? But let's go back, let's enhance this. It's like, look at him running from the girl, right? And by the way, look at how small he is, okay? She's a small girl. I actually remember this girl. She's a small girl. And he's shorter, I think, by at least a couple inches than her, right? He literally ran away from this girl. He could have taken the second to actually give a quick statement and then go like an adult. But instead, he's gonna attack him like that. That was his move. That was his move. And yes, I am confirming that he's a man. And I'm not, look, people are saying this is me because I'm 6'6" and I'm a giant. No. There were regular sized people in the courtroom and he was diminutive compared to them. Very small boy. Bob says, if Ramsey gets an altercation with streamers, will both parties get charged? Yes, it would. Yes. So if they fight anybody at all, it's likely both will get charged. Let them fight. Yeah, it's fine. Look, if it's illegal, they'll get in trouble. But if they want to go, if the IP squad wants to, and ABZ and the IP squad, Ice Poseidon squad want to fight Johnny, let them fight. They can fight and they all go to jail, right? Up to them. Although I did hear that I'm pretty sure they're both taking some measures to, some of them to agitate, some of them to protect. So we'll see what ends up happening. That would go down this week. So, starting tomorrow, if you see a headline of, Johnny Somali in fight or, in altercation or incident with streamers, other American streamers in Korea, what's going on. C9 says, so the Koreans didn't allow him to go to China. The black side would have been great. No, he isn't allowed to leave, period. He can't go anywhere. Rottweiler said, what's his plan? He still thinks the U.S. will bail him out. He's no political actor. Even BLM would claim him. I doubt even BLM would claim him like that WNBA player. No, the whole politics thing is just to be divisive. He thinks he can, he thinks he's more important than he is. Nobody's coming to bail him out. Nobody left, right, or center likes him, right? I have people that are very conservative that hate him and people that are very liberal that hate him. Everybody hates this dude. And that's in Korea and elsewhere. Earthworm Jeb for 20 says, thanks for keeping Ramsey's Somali trial. Yeah, no, that's what I'm going to do. I'm keeping with this from beginning to end. If you guys are interested in following this in terms of a legal side from the beginning, it's something that I like to do, and it's something we do in LawTube. We cover things to this level of legal detail, not just an overview. On my streams will go deeper. I will make short videos that are more summaries. If you like that, watch those videos. There's always people in my comments that get annoyed that my streams are long. Well, I'm a streamer. That's what we do. Welcome to LawTube. We go into deep detail. We don't just skim the surface. Winnie the Blue for 5 says, keep up the manless shaming. I ain't stopping. Angry Drunk Bumblebees for 10 says, do you think Johnny and Hank are running the locale of the year, or is Nick got fully locked in 25? No, I think Johnny and Hank are going to win this year. Nick, they're the jokes. Locales, obviously internet people you laugh at. They're definitely the ones that are going to be the winners this year, for sure. Colin says for 20, just a stupid question. Would you rather give us gift membership, super chat, or donation to Ko-Fi? Depends. They all have their advantages. I like gift memberships because everyone gets them. Super chats are nice, but donations to Ko-Fi get to me the quickest. So that's why for stuff like, hey, get everybody a coffee, like that comes every week. So it's easier for me to do stuff for people like in real life with that, which is a little bit quicker. So up to you. They also take a little lower fees, but gift memberships are great too because I do member only streams, so people get access to that. So there's benefits to all of them. And also like super chats are great because I like to interact. I love that our streams are interactive and it's not just me sitting around explaining stuff that you might not care about. Isaac says, can you explain did they try to achieve by donating to you? I don't get it. Attention. Johnny right now Johnny believes in the marketing principle that any attention is good attention. And in certain circumstances that can work, but not when you're facing criminal charges. If it's something that's non-criminal, there is a case of like, if you get PR as being a bad boy, that's not a bad thing, but not when there's crimes on deck, right? So they're hoping that by everybody talking about them, whatever, it's going to get this return to streaming and they're going to be great and it's going to be awesome. Yeah, that's not how it's going to work out though. And the biggest thing is there's criminal consequences, right? There's criminal consequences for this. So, I mean, it's just an attention seeking thing. It's like a child that lashes out. Oh, also, what's up, Nux? I see you in the chat. What's up? What's up? Good to see you. Good coverage. Although you showed Nux showed 2 pictures of Hank, and one was just a random Korean, one was actually Hank. But same thing, same. Good coverage though. Thank you. And everybody who's covered this, thank you. And by the way, all creators, everybody, big and small, you have permission to take any of my clips, anything, cut it, do whatever you want, talk over my stuff, use any of my footage. If you need any help, you need any stuff that I can send you, send it to me. I'm happy to help you on covering this topic. So if you need any questions, let me know. Interviews, I'm very scant on time. A lot of people are asking me for interviews. That's harder, but I can try to help you. And if you need me to explain something to you in a DM or an email, I will do that. Norbert Frohlich says, Shonen Guten Tag. I just hope the streamers arriving from Japan are not allowed in Korea. It's possible. So I talked about that on my last stream. I'm not going to rehash that. But for the ones that are convicted criminals, which is some of them, if the border people, the immigration knows about that, they have the power to stop them. Now, they may not. They may say, oh, whatever, we don't really care. They're only going to be here for a short time. Whatever. I don't know. Or they may just be like, whatever. But they could. So if you really want to stop them, do that. But it's up to you, whatever you want to do. If you feel like stopping convicted criminals from entering Korea is a good thing, then you can call. There's an English line for people overseas. So there's an overseas line. Danny Skier for 100 Tribe Bot says, Anon users asked him for his opinions on Party about the seriousness of the next trial. He's deluded and thinks the justice system is soft. Your take? Yeah, he also thinks he's going to be able to stream. He's going to get away with no time in jail. It's all delusional. It's purely delusional. In fact, I think we have that whole one right here. So yeah, let's play this one. This is the really delusional one. I think I've got it in media player. So let me pull that down and we'll try to rock this one. Oh, no, that's not going to work. Okay. We'll do this clip instead. Actually, we'll play a worse one. So this one's really bad. So I just want to warn you, there are like racial slurs in this one, and this is really racist. This is like racist, extremely racist. So, you know, fair warning here. And once again, it's Johnny being racist, not me, but this will be, the judge is going to see this. Let's just put it this way. So this was a comment. This was Johnny this morning. And he was responding to Atozi's live. So Atozi did like a 6-minute live. Of course, this good looking bastard is there in the back, right? Right in the back. But watch what he says about the judge. Watch this. This is unbelievable that someone during their trial would say this. By the way, we're probably going to get demonetized. So if you guys can just smash a like button, I'd appreciate that because of Ramsey's language, not because of me. I'm trying to work on my cursing. I'm trying to get it down. But Ramsey, it's hard to watch his content because he curses so much.
He doesn't know Hank's address and apartment number where he's
That as
staying.
well.
Stupid.
Yeah,
Come on,
he
bro.
kept answering that he didn't know. Yeah, no, it's bad. It looks really bad for him.
Then he said, I don't know because I don't speak Korean. And then the judge said, you can speak English. Because the judge,
The nigga told me, what's the address, nigga? I'm like, nigga, I don't know how to tell you, nigga. How do I say ching chong, ching ching ching? How can I say that to you? I don't speak your language.
So there was that. Yeah, there's that. By the way, on Ko-Fi, thank you, Pocky Pimp. Appreciate that. 54% of the goal on Ko-Fi. Thank you over there for that donation. Yeah, but anyways, the judge is 100% going to see that. Are you kidding me? The judge is 100% going to see that. Like, can you imagine during a trial, being directly racist to your judge? And so this actually brings up a good question. Someone asked me this question because we did bring up the fact that Ramsey lied during his first. Sorry, hold on. Sorry, as jumped in. Did TSP say that video? No. TSP called out. Oh no. All right. What's up, Az? Good to see you, brother. So just throwing me off with that. All right. So we did catch the fact that he's lied during his trial. Now, I have posted the updated hearing transcript on my locals. I put it in the community tab of YouTube. So if you just want to go over to the community tab, you can find it. It's posted up there. So we actually corrected this part here. So it's actually funny. You know why he said that? Because the judge actually called him out for not knowing English. I'm not kidding. So let me read this again. This is the actual transcript. The judge says, don't you know the building number or the apartment and the apartment number? Defendant says, defendant is him. He's a defendant, which is pigoin. Pigoin in Korea is, pigo or pigoin is defendant in Korea. Not off the top of my head, because I don't speak Korean. Judge, their numbers. You can say them in English. You don't remember? Bruh. Called out directly by the judge. And who doesn't know English? Ramsey, right? It's all projection. See, this is why you got to understand. A lot of people will say, well, why don't you get mad if these people say bad? It's all projection. They're just projecting their own insecurities on other people. He's projecting his own inability to speak proper English language because he does not speak proper English language. He's projecting that onto other people. It's crazy. It's really nuts. Wundertoot says Johnny is digging a hole. Oh, crazy. Theme Pro says, will you cover Johnny's release from prison in 2045? Yeah, I will still be here. I'll still be grinding in 2045. I ain't quitting this shit. It's crazy. Gamer Halim for 79,000 Indonesian rupiah. What was on his mind? Moreover, when he entered the prosecutor's office and when he answered he loved North Korea to a reporter, what the hell? Him and Hank, So him and Hank Yoo. Hank Yoo has been simping for the CCP, the Chinese Communist Party. They have a bunch of videos. I have some of them on my X. If you scroll down, there's one with Hank where he's waving a Chinese flag, and they've got this Chinese People's Liberation Army flag behind them. It's actually kind of hilarious, but he's been into that because his plan is to go to study in China, because at this point Hank is pretty much blacklisted from Korea. At this point, there's so much stuff in the Korean media about Hank. If he tried to get a normal job or do something other than work for daddy or mommy or whatever, he would not be able to receive a job. So he's hoping that if he goes to China, there's not enough coverage in China. Same thing with, he's blocked from the United States. He's tried to appeal his felony convictions in the United States for years, and he's failed. Even the Supreme Court denied Hank Yoo's appeals. So he's been fully knocked down. He's not going to America. His American dream is over. Korea doesn't want him. And he's got to try to flee to China. But, for being him and Johnny being supposed free speech advocates, very good luck with that in China, I'll say. Yeah, let me show you guys the video here. Because once again, I know a lot of you are new and you don't know who Hank is. This is a very good embodiment of who Hank is. Let me show you this. This is posted on X, so you can find this on my profile. But this is a very good picture of who he currently is, okay?
You know what? Fuck this. That's more like it, right? Hell yeah. 向前，向前，向前，我们的队伍像太阳，脚踏着中。
So he's now LARPing as a Chinese supporter here. That is Hank. That is Hank. For all my Korean peoples out there, and that is some of the most cringe. That's some of the most cringe stuff I've seen in a while. It's 100% cringe. And you can understand that perhaps people in Korea don't take too kindly to that. Also, everybody has said the same thing. Someone said, his Chinese is crap. Yes. Literally, Dr. Ulrich, you had him on. He's a language professor. Obviously, he knows Korean. He knows Chinese. He knows Japanese. He knows 7 languages. And he's like, literally, he spoke to his colleague, who's a full-on Chinese professor. They only teach Chinese. And they said his Chinese is unintelligible. It's so bad. He doesn't even know what he's saying. It's absolutely ridiculous. Germ70 said the funniest thing South Korea could do is give him a lighter sentence, but he has to stream his punishment every day. Exactly. Sam S says, could Saul Goodman save him? No, nobody's saving that. Sparky says, base legal mindset stream, glad to catch you. Yeah, you too. No Name says, Hank is the protein supplier for Johnny. If you know, you know. Danny said, even if Johnny Somali gets jail time, do you think possibly Hank could use his connections to pay his bail? There's no bail. Okay, guys, this is another one in the chat, in the comments. Sorry. No bail. Bail is not, it doesn't work the same way. You're either detained, meaning they keep you before trial, or you're on your own recognizance. There's not really a system where you can pay to not be detained. The reasons why you're detained are usually because you are violent, typically because it was a violent type crime. There are some exceptions where you might be detained, like let's say it's a drug-related crime. It's not necessarily a violent crime directly, but they might detain you for that because it's a serious crime. For example, there was a Persian man who was convicted of meth. He was charged with dealing meth in Korea. He was detained, but they were discussing whether or not it'd be possible for him to be released or not, right? So he didn't directly do violence, but it's considered a serious crime, so they detain you. Johnny is not detained. And remember, not detaining them is the standard, because if you detain someone, if you put them in a cell before trial, who has to pay for that? The taxpayer. Does the taxpayer want to pay for Johnny Somali? No, they don't want to pay for Johnny Somali, especially since we know now this may drag out a year. He may be stuck in Korea for another year. It's possible. And that's before any sentencing happens. So before he serves a day in prison, a day behind bars, he might be here a year just going through the trial process. And the process is the punishment. Now, there are circumstances where they may detain him. he may end up detained. But the problem is, if I talk about it, Johnny listens to every single one of my streams. And so do 7,000 of you, which, by the way, I hope you like them. I do hope you enjoy this information. So do smash the like button. And I don't want to give him any advice. So I've been very careful about what I do and don't say. And sometimes I leave things for later streams or later points once he's screwed up. And there's a big screw up I'm going to tell you about in just a minute. But let's get through a couple of these other big ones here today. Cammy Hunt is a new member. Welcome. Thank you. Sold Out said he's not going to be missed. Yeah. Oh, man. Usagi Akiba said, at what point do you think this will become real to him? Will he have to be in the cell? Do you think he'll cry? I don't know. I don't know. He may. He might. JMGC Gepula says that's probably additional contempt charges for off-court behavior. Thanks for covering. Yeah, absolutely. So let me explain the difference here. This is a good one. There's two separate charges in Korea. This is a question somebody asked me yesterday. Will he be charged with perjury or contempt of court? Contempt of court is doing things in defiance of court, and it's broad. Many things can be contempt. So when a court tells you to do something and you don't do it, that's contempt. Perjury is lying under oath. And when he was testifying that he was a student, because let's pull this up, he actually said his occupation is a student, which is absolutely 100% a lie. Right, here it is. He said he's a student. That is contempt of court, because at this time, he was not administered an oath. And because he was not administered an oath, it's contempt of court. It's not perjury. Now, from my understanding, the punishment for both is pretty similar. So the court has a lot of latitude for both. But, this is a law channel, and we focus on the details. So I'll tell you that this statement as a student is actually contempt of court, right? But if he's under oath, it would be perjury. So there you go. That's the lawtistic details, which I love. Warranty Void for 50. Thank you so much. Appreciate that.
Yes.
Fourth new member, welcome. I need to let him rot as long as I have been here. Yeah. Angel Chase says, explain the discretion on the penalty of the judge. This is not a jury panel. This is not a jury trial. The judge has the power here. He has the power to find guilt or innocence, as well as to determine the sentence. So the judge can punish them at their discretion. Now, generally, after he's guilty, which, by the way, Johnny has pled guilty. One question from the comments. Can he take back his guilty plea? No, he cannot. In Korea, when you make a plea, you can't take it back. Now, in America, you can. And in many cases, if they do the Darth Vader, if they change the terms of the deal, you can be like, hey, you changed the terms of the deal. In America, you can take it back and say, oh, no, I don't want that. That's not what we agreed to. Take back my plea. Now he's done. And there's no plea deals in Korea. You plea without any idea what they're going to sentence you to, with no takesies backsies. Now, he does have one more charge, one last obstruction charge, in this case, which he hasn't pled yet to. So we'll see whether he wants to try to fight that one or not. He could plead not guilty on that one count. It's possible. Maybe he wants to fight that one out. Who knows, right? It's possible. Also, in the Eastern District, he's going to have the deepfake case. He could plead not guilty there. We don't know. That's another case that hasn't started yet. So he could plead that, but once he does it, that's it. He's convicted, essentially. It's just a matter of what the sentencing is. So on those 3 counts, he is now guilty officially. That's how it works in Korea. He's guilty. He's pled guilty. He's guilty. So, and so every other charge now, he is a convicted criminal in Korea. So it is now accurate to say he is a convicted criminal in both Japan and Korea, right? It's possible. Very, very, very possible. Very possible. All right. Let's see here. Let me get this. Okay, let me get this. Okay, memberships, and then we're going to roll a little bit. We're going to give you some more information. Okay, True North for 5. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. And then another 5. Thank you so much. You know, Johnny looks at all the stuff I get, and he always gets very big.
Emotional damage.
All right. Louis Cali for 5 says, we'd be able to bring a cabbage to the courtroom, just hold it up and looks to you. Oh, no. Okay, Myron sent me 50, said jump on my stream in 8 hours. Let's discuss for the case. I cannot, dude. I've got to be out of here very soon. I'm out of Korea very soon, so I cannot in 8 hours. But I do appreciate everybody asking me. And if anybody has questions, I'm willing for everybody to give them information on this. So you can email me, Discord, Telegram, X, whoever's covering it. I don't give a shit. I'll give this information about everybody because everybody should be covering the different facets of this case because this applies to America. It applies all around the world, period. Trucker Rob for 10 says, howdy, Andrew. Washing ye old truck and listening to the good word. Gonna make me some homemade ramen later. It's a thing us free non-cabbage farmers get to do, you know. There you go. Stay free. Lisa says the fact that he couldn't read numbers cannot be used in his favor, like in Sam. No. Here's another one. Chat. Listen, I'm only gonna say this once. Actually, I've already said it 3 times, but I'm gonna say it again because I'm tired. I'm so tired of all of the people that are asking me about the insanity plea. Stop, please, God. There is no possibility he will get insanity. He is legally not able to plea insanity. It's not possible. It's not going to be something he can do. He is not qualified to plea insanity. You're talking about the insanity plea is making me insane, right? He does not qualify. And beyond that, let's pretend in a magical world that he was actually qualified. Asian insanity pleas lead you to a place you don't want to go. The insane asylums in Japan and Korea, it's not good. It would be way worse. You would wish you were in the prison, right? Yeah, stupid is not insane. And this is not America because and mind you, what a lot of people do is you listen to what he says. What you got to understand is Johnny lies. Of course, almost everything he says, you can actually believe the opposite. For example, he said he was going to be streaming the court. He said he was going to stream the court case. He said he was going to stream in the courtroom. He didn't do that. He didn't do that at all. So, he said a lot of things. He said he's going to be leaving in a week. He said he was going to get a $500 fine and walk out of there. That's what he said. Is that what happened? No. Wild Red 1905, member for 6 months. VJ Mahadas for 20. Thank you so much. Simon for 5 says you need a custom-made suit with a smiley cabbage face for emotional damage. This would be great. KLC97 says A5. Will he get a charge for what he did at the Comfort Woman statue? No. So this is another one too. Right now, none of the charges relate to the Comfort Woman statue. None of them. However, it all, because that is something that drew a lot of the other events in, it is relevant for people to understand the case. So a lot of the interaction with Johnny wouldn't have happened if he didn't do that. But the act of doing that itself is actually just a fine. And the Koreans are looking to change the law related to the statue because of, they call it the Johnny Somali law, to change that law so that doing that is actually a higher level of crime. But right now, that's actually just what would be a minor crime, essentially. We have some things like the Minor Crimes Act. It probably could be something under the Minor Crimes Act, but that's not actually what the big criminal side is from a criminal standpoint, a legal standpoint, which is what we focus on this channel. JMGC, Gapula, welcome as a new member. Bob says, since Johnny streamed and created an illicit website. Yes, so in case you don't know, Johnny created a pornography website. Pornography and the distribution thereof is illegal in Korea. Does his current visa status? not allow this? Nobody can create porn in Korea. You're not allowed to do that. Same with OnlyFans. You're not supposed to do that either. Will the court confiscate any income generated upon sentencing? They could try to confiscate income, but more likely it'll just be a fine. They actually don't care if you made income or not. They just fine you. They just fine you. So regardless of whether or not you made money, they fine you. Wild Red says, I was talking to a friend about Somali. I brought up the video about him trapping a girl in a hotel room in Miami. Did I misremember? Nope, they did. That was Orlando, actually. It was Orlando. There was an incident where a girl had to call the police because they, I played that one before. I don't want to play it again. It's back in the archives, but it's actually disturbing. Hot Soup for 20 said, what are the chances of the U.S. government interceding? 0. Let me just say this. I've talked to people, and nobody ain't helping him, okay? He's not getting there's nothing apart. He's not charged with crimes in the U.S., right? And this is not something that he got kidnapped because he was American or whatever else. This is because he was acting like a fool. JMGC Gepula says that's probably additional contempt charge for off-the-court behavior. Thanks for covering. Yeah, a lot of possible contempt here. A lot of possible contempt. Michael Rule says, good imdag from the Netherlands. I think Johnny will give a Johnny response. Oh, yeah, and he'll be responding to all of this. But once again, you can't believe a word that he says, and I mostly disregard it. I only take the very few things that come up. JP Ravenfer said, VTuber Arc unlocked. Wait a second. Hold on. Did we do a thing? Did we do a thing today, chat? No, we did it, boys. We did it. Oh no. Oh God. We are at 200,000 subscribers. Thank you, Johnny Somali. Sorry, Ramsey. That's how it got there. And of course, for those that don't know, that might be new, I did promise, because I've done a lot of coverage of VTubers, and I still will do a lot of coverage of VTuber issues because they have crazy international issues. I did promise to start the VTuber arc at 200K. So yeah, that's going to have to be very soon now. I love you all. Appreciate everybody who got me here. Thank you much for the coverage, for the support, and everybody. And I want to say to all my fans, thank you for following me, whether you followed me from the Kyle Rittenhouse case, from Amber Heard versus Johnny Depp, from my coverage of Disney, my coverage of VTubers, my coverage of all things Asia, whether I'm talking about trials or anything else, thank you so much. Or whether you came for Ramzi Khalid Ismail and his journey to the cabbage farm, thank you so much. It has been an honor and a pleasure to be here delivering this to you. The goal of my channel is to educate and entertain, and you have allowed me to do that all over the world, and that's a true blessing for me. So thank you so much. I really do deeply appreciate that. I just want to say, just thank you. Yeah. Oh, I will play. You know what? Well, at the end, just in celebration of this, someone did make a little opening for like the anime law. It's as a meme. I'll put that at the end. That's the special weeb unit. I'll put that at the end for my hardcore fans. All right, let's continue. True North for 10. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Gabe Salgado says, confirmed Daegu gangster. Yes, I started my journey in Korea in Daegu, South Korea. I came from living in Miami, Florida, living in Daegu, South Korea for about 4, 5, 6 months. And then I moved to Seoul, and I was here for about 3 years. And now my main base is Thailand, but I spent a lot of time in Korea, as well as some time in Japan as well. And I consider Korea still like a second home. It's great. I love Korea. Aaron Tolan for 200K. Thank you so much. Congrats. Linus Doggo as a new member. Thank you. Iram Amin says, now they reach 200K. When's the hedonism vacation? Okay, hold on. Okay, all right.
And they're still fucking nerds.
We're not having that arc. All right. Claybuster said, congrats on 200K. Thank you. Billy says, feet revealed. God damn it. Oh, boy. Ditzy says, 200K. Thank you, Ramsey. It's so sweet, Ramsey. Stephen Campbell for 5 says, yeah, but what if he please? No, I'm just kidding. Well done on the great coverage. Thank you so much. Big Buddha says, 220 for 200K. VTuber time. Let's go. I'm going to have to start fundraising for an artist and a model. Oh, God. Okay. Oh, this is so horrible. Vortex says, base 200K. Our Oshi is coming. Triple J for 20 Legal Mindset memberships. Thank you so much. Why am I regretting my life decision?
Yes.
Luri says, come for VTuber in East Asia arcs. Thank you. Lurian says, whoopsie, seems like my hand slipped. Thanks for the hard work. I'm listening to your coverage and learning while I study. Awesome. Well, hopefully you're wishing you best in your studies and wish you the best for yourself. Thank you and welcome to the channel. Thank you so much. Cammy gifted 20 Legal Mindset memberships. Johnny's watching.
Emotional damage.
Big damage. Lisa said, I did not mean insanity plea. I was curious due to him not being able to read numbers since he got wrecked by the judge. If he could use it in his favor for being stupid. Don't be mad at it, please. No. Senpai notices you and is not mad. I just get a little passionate about the law. I'm just really passionate about the law. So him being dumb does not play in his favor. Playing dumb in court does not play well. Here's why. You have a lawyer who you can ask questions to. You have, an interpreter who's like asking you clarifications on what you're saying. And mind you, we didn't include in the transcript all the back and forth between him and the translator to make sure that she was getting everything absolutely correct. And she spoke fluent English. He had time to fix the stupid, and he chose not to fix the stupid, right? That was his choice. Instead, he's choosing to mock the judge. Once again, I think some of you missed this in the beginning. I want to play this clip again, but this clip will be going to the judge, right? This clip will be going to the judge. Let's play this one more time just to see how stupid this is. For those that missed it at home, let's play this one more time.
He doesn't know Hank's address and apartment number where he's
That is
staying.
well. Yeah, he kept answering that he didn't know. Yeah, no, it's bad. It looks really bad for him.
Then he said, I don't know because I don't speak Korean. And then the judge said, you can speak English. Because the judge,
The nigga told me, what's the address, nigga? I'm like, nigga, I don't know how to tell you, nigga. How do I say ching chong, ching ching ching? How can I say that to you? I don't speak your language.
See, that's real bad, and that's going to the judge. So that's going to the judge. Yeah. Not looking good for Ramsey. Not looking good for Ramsey. Tarlasan for 10 says, stupid question. Sorry, can the judge and prosecutor watch stuff by Johnny like streams? They could if they wanted to. It's not prohibited. Let's see here. Kit Bertel, as a new member, welcome. Not a Zebra says, I want to be noticed by cabbages. Sebastian Mueller for DKK 100 said, VTuber mindset. Let's go. Be careful of what you wish for mindset. Yeah, absolutely. True North says, for Canadian 10, we support everything you do. Hopefully Somalia will get 10 years prison. Yeah, that'd be awesome. Citrum says, thanks for all you do. My pleasure. Mbax says, get a dog avatar and Calabra Corona. Oh, God. Okay. All right. This is a separate episode. It's going to be a members only episode too, because we're going to have a come to Jesus about this. Piotr Suwala lifted 20 Legal Mindset memberships. Thank you so much, Piotr. Thank you for being a great supporter. Appreciate you, brother.
Emotional damage.
Choi Neko says, can't wait for your VTuber debut. Will it be a talking cabbage in a suit? I think it'll have to have that as like a separate toggle. Like it definitely has to be a thing. Jacob says, not sure how Pippa, now you know how Pippa felt when Pippa ate the spider. Boston Modern said, congrats to 200K. Besides the start of the cabbage trial, we now have a VTuber arc. Here's the cabbages and the VTuber funding. Thank you so much. Ryobi says, congrats to 200K. Legally minded. Now when do we get to see the VTuber model? Okay, I'm on it, guys. I'm on it. Rabbit's Hunger says, I get that comfort woman statue isn't a crime, but not knowing criminal procedure and evidence laws could be the incident to be used as evidence in this case. It can be used as evidence of a general criminal spree. So the judge, especially for sentencing, is allowed to consider the pattern of behavior. It's allowed to consider everything going on. So they're allowed to think, okay, this guy went around as a spree. And I was talking with somebody, a Korean, about the instances where the maximum punishment is used. It's very rare. It's almost zero. But when it's used, it's a person that has horrible intent. They're going on a criminal spree, and they need that maximum punishment. There's times it's called for. And if any time the maximum punishment was going to be given out, now is the time. Now is the time. This is the case, right? There's a reason why it's there. El Eagle, disciple of Wah, for 100,000 dongs, says, congrats, 200K subs. Been knowing you for 1 year since a Doki stream. Finally, law, man, VTuber arc, Ikazal. Oh, we're doing it. Thank you guys. Thank you all I love my VTuber supporters because they're like the ride or dies. They're really cool. I really love them. And thank you, JP, who's one of my mods. Thank you. John Class says, I've worked with 3 people from South Korea. They're very respectful of me and people around them. Also made the point of helping me when I needed it. Then I see this Johnny Punk real boils my blood. Yeah, he's a bad character. Curio15 says, well, it did not outlast a level, but insanity word in Asia is quite something. Yeah. Let's see here. Wuxia Game Central Lord Draggle says, your VTuber avatar better have cabbage as an accessory like Nux's mask. Okay, 57 super chats. I'm gonna try to so in case you don't know, I try to get through everything I have. So because I want to get through all the chats. But I also want to make sure we move with the material. I've got one more thing we have to review. Because it's very important. It's misinformation from Johnny. So let's put this out here. So Johnny is talking about Bong Bong IRL and what he quote unquote did with her.
And I'll tell y'all this, bro. Guess who's fucking getting charged too? Like
So he's talking about deepfakes. So he's confirming that he is indeed going to be charged with deepfakes. He is going to be seriously charged. So he's confirming it here. But he's trying to say that Bong Bong, the female streamer, right? Let me see if I can pull her up. Bong Bong IRL. Let's see if I pull up her. Maybe you'll get her. Yeah. Here she is. Let's see. I'll pull up a picture of her. Let's see. The Instagram. Okay. Is that work? Okay. There's nothing. There's a foot in here. Okay. It's not too horrible. All right. So this is Bong Bong IRL. I can show this. I gotta really check people's content because sometimes Instagram content is not friendly for YouTube. But here's Bong Bong IRL. And she is a person who was deepfaked. She was deepfaked as part of the issue with a lot of the deepfakes that Johnny either created or disseminated. And she filed a charge against him for deepfakes. And they have, it is confirmed that has been forwarded to the prosecutors, which means it's going to court, which means he will face charges for that. However, he is trying to say, I have charged her. Johnny doesn't get to charge anything. Johnny is using the word charge completely incorrect. What you do is you submit something. You give it to the police. The police can look at it and decide to wipe their butt with it and throw it in the trash. The police are the ones who decide whether to give it to the prosecutors, to give it to the court, or to throw it away. All Johnny did was he filed a police report. And the police could say, we're not doing this because she is the one that's harmed in this, right? It's really, is she going to be the one who is the one who's harmed here, right? So trying to say, he's going to take everybody else down or he's charging is just ridiculous. I'll let the clip finish, but that's not how it works. Johnny does a fundamental misunderstanding, as we're seeing time and time again. He has a fundamental misunderstanding of the Korean justice system. And there might be a little lag, guys, because my internet was being a little weird there for a second, but we're back. Okay, let's continue.
Drop really knowledge on you niggas, bro. That stupid bitch Bong Bong, she showed that image as well on her stream, right? So guess who went to the police station? Nigga, I put charges on Bong Bong ass. Bong Bong getting charged too, nigga. Like, I'm not playing with these niggas. I went to the court. I'll put charges on Bong Bong ass.
He doesn't go to the court, right? You go to the police or the prosecutor and then you submit a report. And you don't put charges on them. That's not how it works. The police can literally throw it away. Like, for example, Hank, his buddy, possible lover, buddy, roommate, he sues everybody. The expression about Hank, and this is actually something that a lot of Koreans are saying about Hank, the expression the Koreans say about Hank in Korean is if a fly lands on Hank's arm, he sues it for special assault. Like in Korean, it's extra funny. But like, they try to sue everybody. And remember, a lot of these things in the US are civil, but in Korea, they're criminal. So they're trying to sue people for everything, but that's not how it works. For criminal stuff, the government decides what to pursue. So he can't, quote unquote, put charges on anything. He can just file a report and they can say, we don't care, especially with who he is and how well he's known, or rather, how well he's despised, right? Because he absolutely is despised at this point. Mavia said, at work, heard you got 200K, so sneaking out and say, congratulations. Opaimon said, yes, just me. Oh, God. Okay. Yeah, listen, we're going to save the VTuber degeneracy for another time because it'll get too dark. Kit, I think you double sent this one. Let me sorry, but Kit says, can the judge for 10 pounds, by the way, I appreciate it. Thank you, Kit. Can the judge pull him up for all the racist language and discrimination he's been spouting? Not going to lie, as someone from the UK, hearing the N-word is so much uncomfortable. Okay, so let me be clear. Being racist in and of itself is usually not criminal. For example, I don't know what, maybe the UK actually, you guys have pretty strict rules on speech, but from an American framework, and in most places, if you're just being like openly, like, I don't like X country, right? That alone by itself, if it's directed at no one, it's just you're saying it, that is not illegal. It might be disgusting, it might be immoral, it might be horrible, but it's not illegal. And once again, there is a distinction between what's legal and illegal. However, here's the difference. It's directed at the judge. So when he's talking about the, saying, I don't understand this speak, and using racial slurs directed at the Korean judge, that could be contempt, right? Because it's directing it at the judge. It's not just generalized, I don't like X, right? Right, so someone like, for example, Nick right here. Nick is like, I'm from the UK and UK sucks, right? So like saying like, okay, if someone said UK sucks, that's not illegal. You can say that, right? It's uncomfortable sometimes for people to hear stuff like that, but yeah. Hafu, I answered this question. Scroll back. Hank is not a lawyer. He has a public defender. Johnny Somali's real name is Ramzi Khalid Ismail. So just a little note there. Lisa, so I will call them interchangeably Johnny and Ramsey. It's the same person. Using up my hard-earned money. Thank you so much, Lisa. Appreciate that. Thank you. Just want to say congratulations on 200K. Well-deserved. I also want to add, I'm sorry, chat, that I exist and made you upset with my super chat. I got some emotions. Okay, thank you. No, you're good. You're all good. I love you all. You're fine. Sometimes Dad just gets a little crazy. Agent Pew Pew for 10 Swiss francs says, thank you for your effort, Legal Mindset. Love your videos about Ramsey, and I hate this dude since his first video in Japan showed up here. Says, I hope this bastard goes to jail. Love from Switzerland. Hey, Grüezi over there in Switzerland. Hope you're doing well. I love outdoors in Switzerland. I think it's one of the most beautiful countries in the world. Lieutenant Schmeg88 says for 10, any interesting differences between Korean and U.S. systems? For example, is it innocent until proven guilty? Yes. Or is there a different standard? No, it's still the same standard, but the judge is unilaterally deciding it. There's no jury. That's a huge difference. There's a lot of other differences. We talked about today, when you plead guilty, you cannot take it back. So when you plea, and there's no plea deals. So you plea, and that's it. Big difference there. There's a lot of little procedural differences, and those procedural differences get you. And that's why, by the way, I am not a Korean attorney. So I will be talking to people that know about the Korean law or other Korean attorneys all the time. In fact, I had another Korean U.S. attorney, I think who's based in Korea, but they understand the Korean process very well. They contacted me recently. I won't say who it is, and they want to talk to me this week because they saw my coverage, right? So I'm not relying on just myself. This is a team of people that have been supporting me, and I'm so grateful for their support here. I couldn't have done them without them, really, seriously. The Killers, as a new member, thank you. Ren Cruz, VTuber Arc, let's go, yeah. Speech Girl for 179 Thai baht, came late to the party. Big fan from Bangkok. Hey, awesome, yeah, no, definitely going to have some events down in Bangkok soon. Probably like towards Songkran, like near April. Kal Maho, congrats to 200K. Heading for that mill. Yeah, baby. I will say I love to learn about more on how to do better. And I've been listening to some tips on improvements. And, obviously we're going to do VTuber Arc. Let's freaking go. But I'm always trying to improve my channel and become better. And ways that I can become better, I am willing to listen if you put it in a constructive manner. If you're just being salty, or if you're a Ramsey sock puppet account, your comment's going to get deleted. Stephen Campbell says, it just amazed me that the idea that someone would have the balls to go through someone else's country and disrespect them. I'm rooting for the Asians. That's the problem with nuisance streamers. It's that they're doing it because they think it makes them look tough. But to me, it makes you look weak to go to somebody else's country and do this. Let's see. Gear Stark says, Johnny is hoping for a Trump rescue like the Tates. Not going to happen. Chaos Forever says, good morning. I'm here for the celebration. Thank you. Snorty said, I feel like I found some people forgot to factor in culture when judging other legal systems. Yes, and culture is a big factor here, which Johnny has no idea about at all whatsoever. Clonosaurus Rex says, why isn't Johnny being held in jail? It is not standard for people to be detained. So when you are held in jail before trial, that's called being detained. In America, you have a system called a bail system or a bail bond system, right? If you go in, you pay the bail bond, you get out, right? So you go, you pay this money, you get out, you're cool until trial. That doesn't happen here. Initially, they decide when they arrest you or they book you, whatever, the first time, they decide on the charges. Is this the type of crime we need to keep him behind bars or to detain him, or are we going to let him out? And the presumption is to let them out. The vast majority of people are just out. So when we're in trial, there's two doors. There's the side door where the detained criminals, the ones in jail, are held. In the back, there is the regular door, which everybody walks through. And most people walk through the back door, which is where everybody walks through, including Johnny. By the way, Johnny was afraid to open the door. So I was talking with the guy who was sitting right next to the door, and he said that Johnny did this. He turned the handle once, and he let go, turned it again, and then finally they opened it and came in. So it's they were very scared to go in the courtroom. And they're trying to put on this fake machismo right now that they were not scared of nothing and it was a joke and it was this and that. But we all know we were there, and not just myself, the Korean media saw it as well. So we all know that Johnny is a coward and that Johnny, was absolutely frightened off his pants. So it's just a fact. Hogfish says, thank you, South Korea, for standing up for yourselves and not being weak like Japan. You showed Japan to handle the news streams over. Let's not count our chickens before they're hatched, but I will say I'm very proud of how Korea is handling this so far. Let's not count them before they're hatched, right? And Steve Stevens says, is there any way we can find updates about him while he's in prison so we can see if he got his ass kicked? I'm sure we'll see it publicly, but it is harder to track people when they're in prison. Johnny Somali giving himself up to the cabbages, and the fact he watches the stream still fumbles and acts big, kind of like a Niji sister over a pick. Exactly. Actually, the reason why he fumbles is because he wants to prove everybody wrong and he wants to try to, do the opposite of what you say. But in this case, if you've got criminal charges, you have to follow the criminal process. And what's frustrating to Johnny is you can't change that. Him having an attitude or him not caring or whatever is not going to change the criminal process. Angel says, what's the culture of Korean prisons? That's an entire episode, but it's not very public. There's not a lot about the inside of Korean prisons. Bob for 5 says, I appreciate your patience bringing up to speed new viewers, though it must get tiring. Is there a place for FAQs referred to? I mean, most YouTubers don't have FAQs. It's called an old stream, but if you want to go to my playlist, I put about 15 or so videos in there, but I'll get all the videos for Johnny Somali under the playlist, so you'll be able to go to the Johnny Somali playlist and catch up. I do understand that some of you, there's a lot of lore. Who the hell is this Hank guy, right? Like, what's going on with this? I get it. There's a lot of Johnny lore, but, you can go back and check it, or if it's a quick question, I'm happy to answer it. Tisha says, if any of the judges don't like Johnny, do you think he will get fines in addition for the comfort sections? It's possible, Tisha. It's possible. And I think you messaged me, did you miss my question? No, I got it. I'm going in a specific order. I finally got alive. Hi from the UK. Thank you for your continued coverage. Do you think he will get done for the concert interruption? It's possible. That's what Atozi speculates. We don't know what the last obstruction is for. It could be for the bus. It could be for the concert. We'll see. Sijin says, will Japan request extradition when Johnny's sentence has been completed in South Korea? No, Japan has no grounds for extradition because he has completed the charges there. He is also banned from entering Japan until 2029. And that's a hard ban. Even after that, Japan could deny him. But he may never be able to travel to Japan again. And I would promote that all countries, when they have people that are convicted of these types of crimes, should ban these people. Just ban them. They have a criminal history. Banned, right? I mean, once again, and you know who they are. And you can put on their file, nuisance streamer. Ban. Van Nugen says, Johnny Boy and Hank showing up to court looking like bride and groom. Yeah, oh yeah. Anthony for 5 says, not to give him advice, but I wonder if the manlet will ever learn to STFU in order to help himself. I don't know. Louis Cali says, KCHAA lead Ismail. Billy Aoki said, hot take, but I'm into our caning laws, kind of based. You are Singaporean. So Singapore and Malaysia have caning. It is very serious if you ever look at that. We watched a video once and I got immediately demonetized. That was real bad. We're not doing that again. Not with 7,000 people on the line. GigaFed says, love the coverage. Keep it coming. I'm not stopping. I'm going to be on this till the end. If you like this coverage, if you want to see more of it, make sure you smash the like button because it tells me that you like it and you want me to continue these streams like this. If you want me to change anything or add more information, just let me know. But my format is long form streaming. I'm not a short manufacturer. Clips for you guys. I'm going to try to get more shorter videos. My video today is actually a unique video. It's not something that is a clip of other content. So I am going to try to do some of that for you guys, but this is my jam. I like to interact with my peoples. Wonder Toot says, Johnny just tried to get Legal Mindset in trouble. How do you think Johnny and Hank got that money? It'll be generated due to his crimes. He had super chats. So what he did was, or not super chats, they're called power chat. Power chat. People were donating for him to drink. It was $3 from the drink. So for about $20 or whatever, he got drunk on soju and was vomiting all over the floor and then licked up his own vomit. It was pretty nasty. Francis Bautista said, thanks for the constant updates. Greetings, Philippines. Greetings, Mabuhay over there. Moksha for 79,000 Indonesian rupiah. Is Hank actually not in trouble or is that a metal not yet? I think it's more of a not yet. But once again, I don't want to speculate because I don't know I don't have as much access to the files on Hank as I do on Johnny. So I know a lot about Johnny. Hank, I'll tell you as we know. Danny Skier says, if Johnny Somali gets jail time, do they think of the possibility Hank might use his mom to pay the bill? Oh, we got that one before. Lisa said, does anyone draw on a short visual novel of Ramsey in the courtroom with your encounter with him and how the smirk turned into a frown real fast once the judge began talking? No, but they should. It'd be a good little book. And if you're capable of drawing, talk to me. We can do that. It might be fun. Auburn says, amount of finding out going around right now is good for the soul. Hell yeah. For €2, Nekotikia said JPN, Japan. Cool. Kevin, compensation for the N-word. Thank you. Rayobi said, clears throat, Pecora clip. Please, Mr. Lawyer, sir. Thank you. Thunder Curry says, when does the for content behavior stop ever? I think it stops when it stops becoming profitable. At the high end, you've got content creators bringing in $20, $30, $40, $50,000 a month from this content. That needs to be cut off. Those money bags need to be cut off from streaming because that is the problem. If the money wasn't there, they wouldn't do it. And that's as simple as that, right? They're just people following the money and the clout, a little bit of the clout, but mostly there's money there. For 5 Aussie, love how you're turning it into content like what he's been doing to us Asians. Yeah, I know. And once again, I'm going to ride that content. I mean, it's what I do. That's what LawTube is. We cover cases from front to back. Saw me getting into this. He thought I was going to be a type of creator who makes a video that is only a video when it's popular, right? So only when it's trending. I stay on the whole case. Now, that doesn't mean we have updates every day, but every update, I'm on it. Every single update. And that's LawTube. That's the coverage of law on the internet. That's the history going back from the Amber Heard versus Johnny Depp case to the Sarah Boone case to every other case that I've covered. You go front to back, right? That's the best way to cover a case. Jean-Philippe Janssen says, do you think they might go even harder on him to make an example out of him so no one does his stupid stuff? Yes, I hope so. That's my hope. Marius Simper says their translator interpreter. Yes, he has a professional interpreter who is fluent fully in English and Korean. Kettle Fire Charmer Hilton says, congrats, 200K subs. In regards to Hank, if the drugs that Johnny got high on are indeed Hank's prescription drugs that gets investigated, will that put Hank in very hot water? Yes. If Hank was giving his prescription drugs to Johnny, that would be very bad. Alejandro Dev for 150, is that Uruguay? Says, is this guy really such an idiot that he keeps acting like one? Greetings from Uruguay. Oh yeah, Uruguay. Okay, got it. Yeah, I know my countries. Thank you for that. I really think he is. You know what? Somebody said something to me the other day, and they said, "Say one nice thing about Johnny." And I'm like, it's hard to say something like positive, but I will say that he was right. That if you no matter whether if you act bad, you're going to get attention. It's just not the attention you want. You'll get it. You'll get the attention, but it's not the attention you want. And that is very true. He acts like this because he knows it'll get him attention. Cammy Hunt for 20 Legal Mindset memberships. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. And it makes me really wonder about his childhood, because one of my, good friends always said the real skill of a good parent is to keep their kid out of prison, right? And keep their kid out of trouble. And this is a situation where he's getting in trouble. And because he's obviously never had a real consequence in his life. Thorcat for 5 Swiss francs says, greeting from Switzerland. I want to know how this guy is able to even live in an apartment if he is not allowed to work and earn money at all. He's being bankrolled. Also, he's now making money illicitly through his donations, through his streaming. I played a clip. He thinks that streaming is not work. It is. It indeed is work. So, that's where if this comes up, he could be in trouble. I'm just saying. It's possible. May happen. Nightshade 2112H says, is there any chance he can appeal a sentence? Yes, he can appeal. Oh, he can appeal. In fact, I don't want to give Johnny any tips. He can appeal. It's possible. But does he know how to appeal? Does he know the right strategy to appeal? I don't know. Does his public defender telling him that? Probably not. Anthony for 5 says, we can't let Johnny distract us from the fact that Bakura bought. Gotta play it.
Monkey.
VTuber clips. Thank you, Anthony. Appreciate you. Hypnotic, cue that Copic and Seething song for Khalid, sir. I will get it later. Don't worry. We got it coming. Pars says for 50, if Johnny did those crimes in the U.S., it'd be harsher compared to South Korea. And he would probably have some physical damage. So someone would physically do a thing to him in the U.S. for a lot of the stuff he did. I guarantee that. Eddie, member for 11, says, keep up the good work. I'm not stopping. Winnie the Blues said, will Hank be allowed conjugal visits with Johnny in prison? Unfortunately, they're not married, so not yet. So I have to say no. Don Pete says, much do you want to bet Ismail becomes the boogie? Oh, yeah, absolutely. Boogie part 2. Mazarova Palma dropped 20 Legal Mindset memberships. Oh, my gosh. Big
emotional damage.
Thank you. Farami says, congrats 200K and thanks for Johnny Somali coverage. My pleasure. And Daniel has been a member for 2 months. Says, do Koreans know that we hate Johnny Somali as much as they are learning that? They are quickly learning that. Go Josh. It says for 20. It says adding the celebrations funds. Thank you for your hard work and teach this little gremlin what real fear is. Gamsamnida. Yes. Gamsamnida. Appreciate that very, very much. Tal for 2 says, notice me, senpai, I got you. Miss Lightning Bolt as a new member. Thank you. Let me get up here. Inori says, late to the stream. Want to know if Ramsey's insanity claim will ever work. Hold on. I have a clip for this.
Your weaknesses don't define you. But you know what does? The dictionary. Under the word bitch.
I'm joking. Scroll back and get my definition of the insanity plea, because I'm going to blow my brains out right now. I'm joking. If I need to explain that one more time, I refuse. I'm now suffering the insanity plea. The asking me about the insanity plea is direct for me.
Emotional damage.
It's done with the insanity plea. If I answer one more insanity plea question, I'm in. I quit it. I'm not done. 200K, I made it. I'm out. Oh, God. Legal insanity set. One more time. Yeah, and of course, what people gonna, if you in the chat, gonna just insanity plea. Okay, yeah. I know you guys. Legal mindset crashes out over insanity plea. Pars for 1 legal mindset membership. Thank you so much. Okay. Are there scenarios where Johnny walks free? Yeah, no, look, is it possible? It's possible. It is possible. It's highly unlikely that he walks away without any serious fine or anything else. Now, is it possible he could get issued no jail time? Maybe if the fine is really big. Because with all these charges, it's not going to be a $500 fine. He thinks he's going to walk away with a $5. He has 2 on the Minor Crimes Act, and granted, the Minor Crimes Act is less. But for the 2 obstruction charges, he's not going to walk away with a $500 fine. Absolutely not. A very large number. And remember, if you can't pay the fine, to the cabbages we go. Louis Cali says, I almost feel bad for Khalid. Almost. No, you don't. Himatsu for 25 Polish zlota. First time here. Can't believe how Johnny keeps making it worse. I know. Fantastic. Mr. Knox says, good day. What do you mean by crashed out? Curious. He's having an emotional and complete meltdown. What he's doing is he is absolutely losing it. And for months, he actually had a fairly steady, plan to just not stream. But now he's feeding the fire during the trial. It's insane. This doesn't happen, people. I've covered cases. Look, you may not know me. Oh, my net is crashing out. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm getting too crazy here. So you guys may not know this, but I cover trials sometimes, okay? And when I cover trials, you never see an American criminal or accused criminal or whatever doing crazy stuff during their trial. Imagine if there's a case, whatever, it's a murder case, and during the trial, the suspect is caught stalking people in the park. That would be crazy. Someone mentioned besides Nick Rekieta. Okay, other than maybe the case of Nick Rekieta. But other than that, no, I'm joking. And that's actually a joke. But there's very few times when people are actively doing more criminal stuff because it would be silly. Parsons, why does it feel like comedy skit? It almost does. Hagfish says the girl with the Pippa shirt saw the Hank video. Really? That's funny. Awesome. Norbert Frolik says, instead of making fun of Korean, it'd be helpful to learn the language and be stuck in Korea for a long time. Exactly. He might even have a passing understanding of it, like a Hank level by the end of this. Lisa says, brain cells be popping like popcorn in the chat. Thank you. Fantastic. Mr. Knox says, if Hanks wants to LARP as a CCP, you should go there. Yeah, go there. See how it works out. Danny says, about my second message, it was an accident. Sorry, you're all good, brother. Devastating Warrior said, I assume the answer is yes, but can him being a racist about his judge additional charges? Yes, contempt of court. Logical Beast says for 5, if Johnny's Somali case gets him long prison time, will it influence Japan and take harsher actions on nuisance streamers? I love being able to love to visit without being judged. Yes, so Japan is taking harsher action. So right now, the crew of streamers in Japan is essentially being chased out. It's very clear they're communicating that they're not welcome there, and what they're doing is not something that they're just going to be cool with, right? Without getting any pushback. They're getting a lot of pushback in Japan. And several of them have had to flee the country because they were booked by the police, but they were, they didn't have any charges. They just, took a police report. So, for example, for the snowball incident with DBR 666, the toothless guy, toothless Dutch guy who threw the snowball, he had a police report that was filed in a complaint with thousands of people signing it, and he had to flee the country. World the T-shirts who kicked people, he had to flee the country. I believe a couple others had to flee because they were afraid of charges coming down the pike. And I think you're going to see these countries, particularly Japan and Korea, saying, okay, we got to figure a way to do this because we can't have this being a thing. Stephen Miller said Johnny must not be let go so easily. To the cabbage fields he must go. Indeed. Warren Davis for 5 says, would you be allowed to visit Johnny Somali in prison, put your tongue and make a funny face at him, then leave without saying anything and laugh your way out? Generally, prisoners don't get a lot of visitors here. It's not very open to the public. There would have to be a very special circumstance. Turkey Sloth for 5 says, asked yesterday, but I figured the oath was administered before all testimony. Thanks for clarifying. It was not. That's why it was a very good question, which this is why I love this is why I love super chats, because this type of interaction. Turkey Sloth asked me this question yesterday. I didn't know the answer. I called my lawyer friend and my other friends who knew about legal stuff, just generally, and they gave me the answers, and I gave you the answer. See? That's how we do this. Rude Geek Gaming for 5 says, Legal Mindset, love the content. Do you think Salami keeps streaming? Hopefully he'll get thrown out of South Korea, or as he's working us on visa. Rude Geek, normally that would be the case, but he has criminal charges. So let's say you're an average Korea boo, right? You love Korea. You love Squid Games. You love BTS. You love Jenny, whatever. You're over here in Korea. And but you don't have a visa. You're coming here as a tourist, and all of a sudden you start working. You start teaching English without any visa at all, and you get caught. You will be thrown out and deported. However, if you were to come over here, same scenario, and beat somebody up, they would charge you with a crime, and until that crime is resolved, you are not deported. At the very end of this, after all money is paid and after all time in jail is served, then he will be deported and he will probably be blacklisted. He will probably never be able to come to Korea again in his life, ever. That's probably going to be the case in the end of this because of this behavior, right? Yeah. Legal Mindset mentioning BTS and Jenny is not on my bingo card. It is now, baby. Philip says, Jag at the hump warned that ROK courts don't play. They don't. Don't mess around. Max Redstone says Johnny is going to be a Cabbage Patch Kid. KLC 97 for 5. Ozzy says, will he get the charge for what he did at the Comfort Woman statue? No. There's probably not going to be something there. There hasn't been anything yet. Unlikely. Vondertoot for 2 says, can't wait for my first V2 Mindset Subathon. I've got work to do. Bear in the Woods for 5 says, being a tard in public is free. Being a tard in court costs 10 years minimum. There we go. DeBob for 2 says, Dr. Mario here to get my medical license back. No, Nintendo disbarred you. Hypnotic and Rapture says, congratulations, our beautiful legal giant. You owe us a gorgeous 3D VTuber. I like 2D. With various emotes, despite especially the goon face, and a powerful computer for it. Keep up the amazing coverage, Andrew. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Marzen says, for 1, he'll regret pleading guilty soon. No doubts there. I imagine that. Agent Pew Pew says, for that Grutzi, you earned another donation. Oh, well, double Grutzi. No, but I appreciate that. What is that? What's the confusing, like the word for cabinet in Swiss that's really confusing? Hold on. Word for cabinet. It's like really, it's the hard. Oh yeah. Oh gosh, I can't like chusi. Oh, like. Oh okay. Huri Hashli. Yeah, Huri Hashli. That's the one that's like super hard to say. Huri Hashli. Something like that. Yeah, there it is. He's got it. Yeah, the word is IKEA. Wrong country. Oh gosh. Myandus, A20, Australian 20 says, for bonus emotional damage loosely, how much more money has Johnny Somali generated for you while he's been broke and stuck in Korea? We should do an audit. We should do a what Johnny has earned me audit. That would be fun. Like, thank you, Johnny. You know what? That's going to be another stream. We're just going to do a celebration stream for 200K. That's going to be like, thank you, Johnny. And we're just going to be hanging out and doing that on another stream. Lewis says, Nintendo just hit you with a cease and desist for that comment. Ratsakun says, first time chatter. Yes, yes, yes. No insanity plea. No. Mamada said, could Johnny Somali keep collecting charges in prison? No, he would be, usually they're going to get handled before. There's a law in Korea that you have to be sued within 6 months of like the incidents or whatever else happening. So the trials have to start pretty soon or have to kick off soon enough. Tech Noir says, can't go back to Korea again and continue to be an example for American visitors to be kind to others. I miss bar hopping in Seoul and Busan. Have a drink on me, Mr. Mindset. I will. I don't know where we're going tonight, but we're going somewhere. Forever, Minu Dreamer says, hi, Andrew. I was a silent viewer and just subscribed. Congrats on a new goal and thanks for what you do. Let's send that Johnny Ramsey Cabbage Boy back where he belongs, in the cabin fields. Hell yeah. Kevin says, I plead insanity in your honor. Absolutely. Josh says, hey, big homie, congrats on 200K. I know you don't want to help this clown out, but what was that mistake you mentioned? No, I'm not, I can't, like, I'm not going to give him advice. So if you're trying to say like, here's like give him advice, please, I'm not going to do that. Because if I say I'm not going to say something, there's a reason why I'm not. And I'm not going to change my mind on that. I don't change my mind on things I've predetermined before stream. Eric Jimenez says, back to the field you go, Korean judge. Vortex Cross says, do we need to put Ramsey on a self-watch arm? It seems like he might be beginning a spiral. No, he'll be fine. He's too main character syndrome for any of that. Doug Demode says, is it possible to get an interview with the prosecutor? No, that's not legal. No. Nick Brown, $4.99 says, congrats on 200K. Thank you very much. And 200K more. One sub equals one cabbage for Johnny. The Killers for 25 Hong Kong says, if he's being sentenced to 15 years, it's possible that he's going to be behind bars in U.S. as some kind of legal bilingual. No, he might be on a list. Deepfakes is a sexual crime, so I have to check. It might vary state by state, but it's possible he could be on a list for the sexual crime. But beyond that, I don't think he's going to face U.S. charges at this point. Jackson RD says for $7.99 Aussie, congrats, 200K. Letting him out is the best thing they could do. He keeps leaking his crimes and helping the prosecutors. Exactly. Him being out has given us so much of a stronger case. He literally has helped prove the case against him. Sightlin for 20 says, what happens if RKA starts pleading not guilty? He can. He's allowed to. I'm not going to tell him whether that's a good idea or not, though. Lewis Cali says, is it possible the unknown is Lotte World? No, that's the Eastern District. So it's not possible this one is Lotte World. It probably is something that happened in the Hongdae area or in Itaewon. Rike 325 says, I heard no AC in prisons and lots of fights break out in the summer and hope it's true. Yeah, it's not good conditions. And he's in there with, it's mostly Chinese and, African prisoners. So. Yeah. Inori says, just ignore my last question. Didn't know that was covered. No, it's all right. I appreciate you, Inori. I'm actually glad you triggered me. That probably made one of the most clippable moments tonight. So thank you. Stephen Campbell said, sorry, I meant has balls as meaning audacity. Yes, streamers like the ring of people who expect someone to protect them. Not this time. Yes. And that little ring of people is not really going to protect you from criminal charges if you commit a crime. And not, once again, I'm very specific. I'm case by case. Now, there are some people out there that want to say IRL streaming should be banned. I actually don't think IRL streaming has to be bad. There are good IRL streamers, but, you have to go case by case and find out which ones are which and what their crimes are and what they've done and what they're doing in the present circumstance. That's how the law works in reality. Bloodstain Alice for 5 says, will you sue him since he kind of defames you on the video before? He's not worth it. Johnny doesn't have any money. You only sue people for stuff if they have money. They're judgment proof. They're losers. And, most of these people that commit defamation, whether it's against me or against anybody, it's a projection of their own insecurities and their own problems and their own shortcomings. So I have had people say far worse than what Johnny says. I've had people be far crazier than what Johnny says. It's just not worth it for these people. They are ants and pests, and Johnny is not that important. And one of the things he needs to realize is he is not the main character. He's not that important. And frankly, he's just essentially this lolcow, this thing that is so bad that people are going to, see it fail and they're going to laugh because it's a situation in which, he did very serious wrongs, and he thinks he's going to get away with it. And it's funny. It's so obvious he's not going to get away with it that it's funny. Mercenary X21 says, Ramirez's insanity defense, if it worked, would be worse than going to the cabbage fields. I saw the stories of people passing away in Asian funny farms. Yeah, no, that's crazy stories. Ditzy says, so Annie Ramsey asked for insanity. I'm going to play a clip.
Fuck you! Fuck you! Fuck you! Fuck you! Fuck you!
It's better when the cute anime girl does it. Kevin Z says, congrats on 200K. Thank you so much. JP says, just got in. What's this about it?
No. Wait.
Ray O.B. so legally minded about the insanity plea. Dr. Paradox, who finally pleaded because it's funny insane. Shungo and Neko, insanity plea of no win. No. No, I'm joking. I love you guys. Thank you. Oh, God. Oh, my gosh. The chat. I knew they were going to get me. I knew they were going to do it. Okay. Focus your energy. Inner peace. Jayen. All right. Jayen. Okay. Good. All right. Lawyer loses it when asked about insanity plea. Yeah, insane mindset today. Yeah, no, I'm done. I'm done with this insanity plea. Anthony says, $5 for the entertaining truth. Thank you. Graham Romanek says another 20 for the audit. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Oh, God, Lunette Fox says it's true. Ramsey was pretending he didn't know where he was staying to protect Hank and his location. Imagine if that got leaked to be on the street. Yeah, no, he was not doing that to protect. Everybody knew it was already in the record. He already turned it over to prosecutors. It's in his case file. It's well known. They've already found Hank's apartment. There's video of them fighting in front of Hank's apartment. It's in Jamshil. I'm not going to say where. Sonpagu, right? That's a giant district. That's like saying it's in the Bronx or something, right? If you think about New York, or saying it's in Manhattan, right? I'm not giving away or doxing anything specific. I'm just saying he lives in an office tel, right? If you live in Korea, you know what an office tel is. It's kind of a small, more ramshackly type setup. Although some of them can be decent, but usually some of them are questionable. And I've stayed in both. I'm no blue blood. I've stayed in very small places and I've stayed in nicer places. My apartment right now here is very nice. It's quite nice, actually. But his location has been leaked for a while. So I don't think OPSEC was what he was thinking about. I don't think so. Let's see here. Kayla Jones for 25 Polish zloty. If Andrew kills us all for asking about insanity plea, will he be able to plead insane? If a lawyer murders his chat in Minecraft, is he guilty? No, I'm joking. I appreciate all you guys. Seriously, I really love you guys. Messing with me is one of the most fun things. I do really appreciate it. You guys know how to trigger me. Jordan Warwolf said, you'd have better chance of the DOD passing an audit with full marks, seeing Johnny Somali skate on any charges here. Exactly. He's not going to skate by and get out with a $500 fine. Come on, man. The Warriors said, if RKI does appeal, will he still be barred from working or leaving Korea? Yes. He's not going to get a work visa here. That's not happening. Can't see how appealing it would be to help him if it's not his case. No, I'm not. Nobody's helping him. I'm not helping him. The only person helping him is Hank, Hong Jung-Yoo. So that's his only ally. Possible roommate. Roommate, ally, possible lover. That's all. Could they separate Hank and Johnny without arresting Johnny? Like having Johnny literally sleep on the streets or something? No, he wouldn't be forced to sleep on the streets. But if Hank did something, or if there was a lover's quarrel, if they fought, if they had a domestic issue, then Hank could kick out Johnny, and Johnny wouldn't have anywhere to go. He has no money for an apartment here. He doesn't have an ID. He doesn't even know how to rent an apartment here. Like, I've lived here for a while, and you have to give a significant, I lived here for 3 years full time. You have to give a significant deposit when you're here for a long time. So you can Airbnb, but Airbnb is super expensive, right? Super expensive. And someone's saying, no way, bro's calling third. No, I'm not saying third world. Calm down, trustworthy fish. What I'm saying is Korea has quality that is so high, that by comparison, the office tel he'd be in is not that nice, right? That's what it is. There's really nice stuff in that. And if you live in Asia, you know this too. Tokyo as well. Tokyo has some closet apartments. Even Manhattan. Manhattan's got some closet apartments. Every place has a closet apartment. I'm not saying it's third world. Nobody says that. Don't put words in my mouth. Yeah. My apartment in Seoul had a $45K deposit. Exactly. My last apartment here, when I lived here full time, had a $15,000 apartment USD, 15,000 USD that I had to leave in an account. And they give it back to you. Of course, there's always a cleaning fee. There's always something they find, but yeah, it's a lot of money. A lot of money. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. You weren't saying I was calling it third world. Okay. Yeah, no, I'm not. Okay, I got you, bro. I got you. I love you. Barry Bryan, new member. Thank you. Fun for 4.99 says, could Cabbage Boy be sentenced in Sakura Candy Factory and making Long Boy gummies? He could be sentenced in a lot of places. They need labor. We need labor. Sidewinder says, lawyer goes insane when asked about insanity plea. Real, gone wrong. You won't believe this. Those are good headlines. Insanity plea arc when soon. That's going to be that. This is going to be a meme. Fred Herbert for Ted says, how strict is South Korean prison compared to USA and Japan other than harsh labor? What else they could have Johnny do other than labor and sleeping? Well, remember, the thing about them is they don't have a lot of frills. You know, in Scandinavian countries, if you don't have like a video game system in your cell, it's like a human rights violation. I'm being a little hyperbolic and exaggerating, but I'm saying there are certain prisons where you have you're pretty much living a normal life. Like I've seen prisons where they look better than apartments I've stayed in, right? But that's not Korea or Japan. It's very for a Westerner who's used to Western standards, it's not fun. Bogey said, I know when the trial will not be televised, but are court artists allowed? Yes, if you were an artist, you could go. Paper and pencil can go. No electronic sketching, but you can paper and pencil if you want to, or pen or, whatever. If it's physical, you can do it. Yes, that is possible. And if someone wants to come on art, if you're in Seoul or an artist in Seoul who wants to come and be a court artist for April 9th, please feel free to hit me up. We can talk. I think it'd be a good idea. Don't call Johnny a Cabbage Patch Kid. I call kids in shopping parts that to their parents and make them smile. I don't want to be tainted by salami. It's okay. I won't ruin your childhood. Bob for 5 Aussie said, what's the International Justice Team's go-to coffee order at the Starbucks with Tozy? So we only went there because it had Wi-Fi. I personally, I like Holly's and I like Twosome. Twosome is nice. Twosome's always nice. It's always more fun with Twosome. But I usually drink like matcha lattes or I'll get iced Americano, which is typical Korean if I want to be healthy Andrew. Yeah, so that's it. Usually that's between my two. It's between my two orders. Rob for 5 Aussie says, I don't think it'll happen. I don't want it to, but if he's let off fairly lightly, how will you react and cover it? I'm sure he'd surely feel he won and gloat. Yeah, that's fine. And I would be not happy about that. It's possible. Once again, I never written off the possibility. The judge, once again, I don't control the judge. The judge could do something crazy. That's always a possibility. I don't think it's likely, though. And once again, we operate not in a world of possibilities, but we operate in a world of likelihoods. It is very likely he gets, at this point, serious punishment, which will likely include jail time. That is what we're on the side of. It's always possible for something to happen. And that's about being intellectually honest. People that are intellectually honest have to acknowledge possibilities that could happen, but they're not likely to happen, right? So, yeah, of course, it could happen. The judge could go nuts himself. Mark Mans says, but I don't think that's going to happen, by the way. And I think this judge looks good. For 20 pounds says, we knew the guy was stupid, but saying, I love North Korea, then slagging off the judge while waiting sentencing. Do you reckon he's listening to Hank, who's giving him bad advice or pure denial? I think he thinks Hank is a lawyer, and Hank's not. Hank's giving him legal advice, I'm sure, and just saying, hey, don't worry about it. And he's getting false confidence from having Hank around. Hanky poo. Cammy Hunt for 10 says, what does cabbage stand for? Oh, if you want the cabbage lawyer, you got to go back. I can't do that right now. It's just related to manual labor that he may be having to do. And, obviously kimchi being a main product, the cabbage fields. Digital Lee for 2 says, now celebratory 200 uwu, unsubscribed. Well, I guess I just did it. The uwu, that is. Uwu. There you go. So we got, are you going to sue the streamers for spreading rumors about you? Nope. Not worth my time. Anybody who defames people who are new to me don't understand that listen, that is the name of the game. And if you give them the attention, that's what they want. Oftentimes it's because their channels are hurting, and also they have no real response to you. They don't know the law. So they can't respond to me with the law. All they have is defamation. And this is something that people have done historically. It happened back when I was covering Amber Heard versus Johnny Depp. There were people that were defaming us because they thought that Amber Heard was innocent. So they called us racist, misogynists, horrible people because we thought Johnny Depp was innocent, right? You get used to it on the internet at a certain point. You're just like, oh, you're calling me that again. Okay, it's a Tuesday. You don't care. Iked says, how long until they start fermenting the cabbage Johnny grows? I'd buy that for kimchi. Probably about a year or two. Melissa Artemis says, RKI is insane, but just not the kind acceptable to court. Delusional. Yes. Digital TA for €5 says, I'm cooking pulled pork and coleslaw next week. The latter will be made of emotional cabbage. Okay, hold on. I got you.
Emotional damage.
I love it. Forever Minu Dreamer says, I will send you a Ko-Fi. Use it for good soju. I will. Forget about the insanity plea questions. Next time, have a PowerPoint with the most common questions. Yeah, I will be a little bit more organized because I'm really busy here and meeting up with content creators. It's been crazy, but I will have time for that later this week. Siddharth Luchai, what's up? Sweaty Cup said for 100 baht, says I made it today, almost 200 cups. No, I'm at 200 subs. In fact, we're probably over. Hold on, let's refresh. Enhance. Okay, we're over though. We're clearly over. So we are there for the VTuber arc. Mr. Hoon says I prefer twosome plays. Based opinion. Yeah, no, only twosome plays. There's no threesome places. Just twosome. Go Josh. Would you stick out your tongue at RKI to spite him now that he knows he's screwed? No, I don't need to go there. But I will have a very satisfied look at sentencing. I'm pretty confident. Warranty void for 100 Norwegian kroner says legal insanity set. Will there be a VTuber insanity toggle? There has to be. There has to be a mind-broken VTuber insanity thing. Big Buddhist says, y'all need to chill with the Cabbage Patch Kids jokes. Things are cute. He ain't. Mir from 15 Malaysian ringgit says, good evening, Andrew. Will there be more court transcripts like the previous one? Yes. For every single court case, we will have people there, either myself or others. There will be a transcript for every single hearing. So we will do that for you guys. That is my service. You're only going to get it here. You're only going to get in the legal mindset. And that's why I say go over to the Ko-Fi and support the team, because those guys are helping me get that done. I don't have time to do all these things. But that's the team, that's the Ko-Fi people that are behind the scenes helping with this. And, I get them dinner, take care of them, make sure they're dealt with all right, because they're really helping on this. And it helps me with this coverage. So thank you. Leighton Nastor says it'll be the first time Ramsey's ever called anyone daddy. And probably going to be in a language he can't speak. Ang DL for 125 says, so Hank is a South Korean citizen, and looking at him, I bet he's not even 35. Has he enlisted? Congrats, 200K. Mabuhay. He's been constantly studying to delay. He's been delaying it as much as he can. And those that are silver spoons know. And he tried to get into America to go around it, right? Which I'm not going to, look, a lot of people do that, but yeah. Let's see. Sanhee Sparrow says, is public defender Korean? In your personal opinion, would his lawyer try his best to defend him, or just say plead guilty and get done with the trial? I think his lawyer's probably over it, just doesn't care. It's like, yeah, whatever you want to do it. Like, here you go, do it. I think that's where the lawyer's at. Nick Cliff for 499 pounds says, will the Japanese police want World of T-shirts if he goes back to Japan? They could. They could have a note on his immigration file. They could stop him from coming in even. They could say, well, we have this criminal report here of you, and because you have a criminal report here, even though it wasn't charged, immigration doesn't need a conviction. They can look at all facts to exclude you. They can exclude you for any reason and say, well, you ran away from this. So because you ran away from this, now we're going to exclude you. Ethan Rosier said, any chance that Hank will pay the fines Johnny Somali gets? It's possible if they're low, but not if they're high. No. I don't think he's got them. I don't think that he's going to give Johnny that big of a loan. Taikon says for 25 Hong Kong, I've been in Asian mental wards. Trust me, Andrew's right. Prison is preferable. Unless it's Bangkwang, in which case you're screwed either way. Yeah, my good friend Josh came on. He knew a guy who died in a Japanese mental asylum. Died. Like, it's not fun. So Yeah, you don't want to go there. Mark Summerman says, just put the fries in the bag already mindset. Nice. If you do so, Johnny Somali, will Hank have to pay for him? Probably. He doesn't have any money. L. Snow said, can Johnny's antics bite him when contempt of court? Yes. Bro, you know, be insane? A guilty plea. That would be good. Plead guilty, Johnny. Let's keep doing it. Agra D for 10,000 Indonesian ringgit. Thank you. Nazar Game says, not sure why you'd want an insanity plea. I wouldn't do that shit in America. Just been asking a husk. I can't imagine how bad it'd be in a third world. Well, it's not the third. Oh, yeah. Someone says third world. It's not third world here. It's not third world here. Dr. Paradox for 5 says, hypothetically, out of curiosity, what happens if they assault you directly or personally? They're big man after all. Then I'd sue them and there'd be criminal charges. So if they were to put a finger on me, yes, I would do that as well to them gladly. To Hank or to Johnny, I'm not going to feel bad at all for Hank and Johnny. Hank sues everybody. That'd be a drop of his own medicine. Same with Johnny. Johnny wants to sue everybody as well. So yeah, no, I would give them a taste of their own medicine. Hell yeah. That's different. That's a different scenario. Lisa for 50 Swedish krona says, can we take a moment to appreciate Danielle? Buttons on the keyboard go, brr, amazing. She is amazing. Thank you to my mods, Danielle. Also, I know JP Ravenfire's here. Shout out to my other one, Professional Gentleman. I also got Don Baca. Comes in every once in a while. But thank you to all my mods who've been around. Danielle's the number one. She does great work. So thank you to her and helping me on this journey to 200K. I couldn't do this without my wonderful mods. They're great. I love them. And they do an amazing job. Sitsatar Luchai for 10 Legal Mindset memberships. Thank you so much. Lieutenant Schmeg for 88 for 10 says, is there a concept of concurrent cases in the Korean system, or are they all consecutive? They are generally, well, like if you're talking about the cases, not the time served, they can be spread out. So they're going to spread these out. It's different for different scenarios. Usually they combine the cases, but in this case, they're staggering them to drag them out. Astro Cooper says, you follow Emolte and Ricada and Dabbleverse? No, I've largely let go of the Ricada coverage because it's just sad at this point and there's not much to talk about. But you know, it's kind of a watchful lesson to people in social media how clout is a hell of a drug and does not pair well with cocaine. Right. Kiko for 50 says, any idea what prison culture in South Korea is like? Yes, I do. I've talked to actually former prisoners. I want to do a prison episode, but I want to see what materials I can get for it. The problem with the prison episode is there's not a lot of videos. There's not a lot of pictures. So it's hard to just have it all explaining, without seeing anything. It's hard. Will he be in danger? Yeah, potentially. Ryobi says, legal mindset. You will be called Vox Mindset for your YouTube. Oh, no. I don't want to get a Niji claim. Jacob Andrew for 25, was it Romania? Says, if you want inspiration for your VTuber avatar, check out the game Love in Deep Space. Okay. Josh Lujan for 49. I misunderstood. I thought the mistake was going to be mentioned in their stream. My bad. Thanks for the coverage. No, my pleasure. Blah for 5 says, so basically pleading insanity is trying to go to Arkham Asylum instead of Blackgate Prison. Yes. In Asia, yes, it is. And I think we got to everything. Also, thank you so much. Appreciate everybody who's been here. Thank you. It's been absolutely great. We're going to continue this coverage. We're not going to stop. We're going to be here covering this from the beginning of the case to the end of the case. But I want to give a special thank you to everybody who got me over 200K subs. It's been a great journey. Expect me to continue to be entertaining, authentic, and to be here till the end of this trial. Also, RKI is an IRL garbage pail clip. That's funny. As a special bonus, some really cool kids made this really cool intro. We're going to play it as an outro. And this is in tribute to the fact that I did promise at 200K to have a VTuber arc and to, explore that option. So as the honorary weeb lawyer, I will play Anime Law, special weeb unit. Have a wonderful day, evening, or morning, everyone.
In the YouTube justice system, VTuber-based crimes are considered especially heinous. The dedicated detectives who investigate these vicious felonies are part of an elite squad known as the Special Weeb Unit. These are their stories. Dun dun.